Now we come to the final part of Unit 8. Our World Heritage Site is looking back and portrait. And we come to the first main part, looking back. And first part of looking back's pronunciation. Listen and mark.
Looking back, pronunciation. 1. Listen to the following short exchanges. Mark rising intonation or falling intonation on the choice questions in these exchanges.
1. Would you like to visit a natural or a cultural World Heritage Site?
Natural and cultural heritage site.
I'd like to see a cultural one.
For example. Number 2.
2. Which site is worth visiting in Hue? The Citadel or the Royal Tombs?
Okay, similar to first one.
I think both of them are worth visiting.
3. Would you like to go to Phomya Kebang National Park by car or by train?
Okay, rising tone and falling tone.
By train.
4. Do you prefer mountain climbing or cave exploring?
Yeah, now rising and then falling.
I prefer mountain climbing.
5. Are the ancient houses in Hoi An in ruins or well preserved?
Most of them are well preserved.
Now let's move to Activity 2. Listen and track.
2. Listen again and check your answers. Then practice asking and answering the questions.
1. Would you like to visit a natural or a cultural World Heritage Site?
I'd like to see a cultural one.
2. Which site is worth visiting in Hue? The Citadel or the Royal Tombs?
I think both of them are worth visiting.
3. Would you like to go to Phomya Kebang National Park by car or by train?
By train.
4. Do you prefer mountain climbing or cave exploring?
I prefer mountain climbing.
5. Are the ancient houses in Hoi An in ruins or well preserved?
Most of them are well preserved.
Now we come to the second main part of looking back today, vocabulary, and the first activity, underlining.
Vocabulary. 1. Underline the correct word in each sentence.
This heritage site is famous for its beautiful scenery. Second, the tombs are part of our historical heritage. Visiting the tombs of Kaidan, tourists will notice a mix of Eastern and Western architecture. 4. The ruling dynasty was responsible for reuniting the kingdom. And 5. The best part of our trip to the national park was the tour to the many, so we have many ancient rooms. Let's move to Activity 2 of Vocabulary Today, completion.
2. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in the box.
Now, Phomya Kebang has the campus, triological. The second, the caves and grottos in Phomya Kebang National Park is the most popular activity for visitors. So, number 2 is at exploring. Number 3, scientists working on the site found many ancient tombs, tombs, and pottery and made some important discoveries. So, archaeological. And number 4, scholars believe that there are still relics buried under the tomb and awaiting excavation. And number 5, lack of this heritage building has resulted in damage to its walls, so preservation. And let's move to grammar. First activity about grammar, completion.
Grammar. 1. Complete the sentences using the correct form of the verbs in the box.
Now, first one. When I was snoozing under the tree in that pagoda, I was woken up by a bell in my ears, so ringing. The second, some of the guests to the 2014 Huế Festival couldn't come as scheduled, so invited. Number 3, life has become much easier for people near the World Heritage Site because there are more embedded bait trapped there, so living. Number 4, this company was the only one need the chance to do some voluntary work as the tour guide at the archaeological site, so number 4 is to offer. Number 5, a boy now found while you were out to ask about the field trip, so number 5 is called. Number 6, Strang Scenic Landscape Complex is the first site in Vietnam as a mixed cultural and natural world heritage site, so number 6, to be recognized. And we come to the final combination.
2. Combine two sentences into one, using either an ing or ed participle.
Now first one, a taxi was taking us to Hoi An ancient town. It broke down. So the taxi taking us to Hoi An ancient town. Taking us to Hoi An ancient town. Or the second, there's a pot at the end of the street. The path leads to the Perfume River. So at the end of the street, there's a path leading to the Perfume River. To the Perfume River. Number 3. The Citadel Gate was damaged in the storm. It has now been repaired. So the Citadel Gate damaged in the storm. Now we continue doing the exercise from 4 to 5 and press on submit button to check your answers. And we come to the main part, the second main part of looking back and protest today is protest. And I would like to introduce you some information about Sapper Stone Church. As you can see, the shape and architecture of the church is built in the form of the cross in Roman Gothic architecture. That architecture shows on the roof, bell tower, arched dome, or a pyramid that make the protest something so thin, stained glass window frames depict the life of God. As you can see, the second, the church area consists of 7 compartments larger than 500 square meter, 20 meter high bell tower, 1.5 meter high bell tower, cost in 1932, weighing 500 kilometers, equals within the radius of nearly 1 kilometer. And with the total area the church covers of more than 6,000 square meters, Sapper Church has enough room for the layout of the area, including church area, rectory houses, houses of monks, breeding houses, angelic houses, the front yard, the fence, the holy garden. And as you can see, choosing the direction the church has an important spiritual significance for Catholics. The head of the monument turned to the east, directing the sun to rise to welcome the light of the God. At the end of the church bell tower is the west, the birthplace of Christ. The whole church was built with hand-installed walls of floor, bell tower, church yard, surrounding apartments are linked together by the mixture of sand, limes, and molasses. And you can see that in May 2006, several parishes officially had a priest and a resident priest. After nearly 60 years without a pastor, the church has been embellished and preserved, becoming an indispensable image when mentioning Misty Sabbath Town. Now, thank you very much for listening to me when I introduced about the separate church. And at home, review all information of Unit 8, Our World Heritage Site. And don't forget to access IseeBooks to do the exercise again and practice again. It helps you a lot. Thanks for your listening. Goodbye.